How many of you have ever met somebody, you work with somebody, you know somebody that has what you would call a negative attitude? Raise your hands. Now, don't look around the room. Some of you are like, yeah, it's sitting right here. Don't do that. Let's get an idea of the crowd that I'm speaking to right now. How many of you here are married? Happily? Oh, a lot of hands went down. All right, guys, don't do that. Don't do that. How many of you have children that you love? All the time. Okay, put those hands down. How many of you know the negatives, negatives, negatives? Now, I want all of you to get this in perspective, because as you get ready to exit your conference, I want you to go back home with some tools, not just as a better leader, but as a better father, as a greater mother, as a better husband, and as an incredible wife. Listen to this. I travel around the country. I have spent my life trying to get people to go after their passion. To believe that passion is that thing inside of you that ignites you. Passion is that creative side of you. Passion is that thing that maybe you've always wanted to do, but you put it on a shelf. Or that's something that was inside of you that was so burning inside that when you shared it with somebody, they made fun of you or put you down. So you buried that passion for years. I spend my life going up to people and trying to get them to believe in themselves so much again, to have the courage to go after their dreams and their visions. That's what I do. Except when it came to my wife, it's amazing to me how sometimes we save the worst of us for the people who need the best of us. I'm guilty of this. I don't know if you are. Sometimes I find myself every single day in my life giving the best of me to people who don't even care. And then at the end of the day, I walk through the door and I serve my emotional leftovers to my family at the end of the day. Not too long ago, I was invited to speak to a cancer survivors breakfast. Think of it. Gary Zelesky invited to speak. Every time they had testimonials before I came up, and these testimonies were amazing. Cancer survivors. There are people in this room that are cancer survivors. I am not one of them. And every time a person stood up, they shared this extraordinary story of their lives. One woman got up and she said, I died 4 times on the operating table, but I'm here today. Another man got up and sang the Star-Spangled Banner, and after he finished, he told us that he had 1 lung. Testimony after testimony of these incredible human beings that no matter what the odds were thrown against them, they overcame. Amazing. And then me. What in the world was I going to say? I couldn't even relate to the power of these human beings. I stood up and I just went, these are not survivors. These are thrivers. We have a generation of young people that think that a relationship is MySpace. We have a generation of young people that think texting is a relationship. We have people in the workforce that think an email is actually a relationship. We have a whole generation of people who don't know the power of human eye contact. Simple focus. How many of you out there have ever said this to your children? Look at me when I'm talking to you. Or to your husband, either one. Why? Because we want their undivided attention. Here's one of the things that people do to other people every single day, and it rips their dignity right out of their heart. It's when they're sharing their passion with you, and as they're talking to you about something that means a lot, you look at your watch right in front of them. Where your children want your attention, and you can't even turn off the TV for a moment to give it to them. Or better yet, you're in a group and somebody's talking to you and they're talking to you about something that means a lot, and you see somebody you know, you totally ignore them and you turn and focus on the person that walks by. You say, Gary, that's simple, but it's the simple things that either give dignity to people or rob them of their dignity. I'm speaking at the University of Alabama years ago, and I'll never forget this girl standing off the side. She's waiting to talk to me. I could tell. I had a couple of students over here. She walks up to me. She looks at me in the eye, and she says, Mr. Zelesky, can I talk to you? I said, absolutely. I gave her personal eye contact because she was talking about something that meant a lot. And she looked at me, and she said, the .38 caliber revolver's under the pillow in my bedroom. Anything that means anything to me is laid out on my bed as wills to my friends. Tonight, Mr. Zelesky, I was going to take the gun, put it to the roof of my mouth, and I was going to end it. What if, while she was telling me her story, I was to say, I hope you enjoyed the presentations. Make sure you stop by the table and get my tapes. Let me tell you something, dad, mom, husband, wife, employer, employee. Are you ready? People are not half impressed with your gifts, talents, and abilities as they are with your ability